Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel once again. Today's video is going to be about the Porsche Boxster, my 20-year ownership of my Porsche Boxster. I'm going to tell you the good things and the bad things, but mostly good because I've owned it for 20 years. So let's get started. Okay, just a couple of factors about my 99 Porsche Boxster. It currently has 135,000 miles on it, a little over 135,000, and as you can see, it's still in pretty good condition. Works great. It doesn't need anything. I maintain it, keep it up, keep it running, keep it on the road. Couple of things to note are this is the original convertible top, and in this next clip after this I'll show you how I have preserved the top right here from getting any creases or anything. I mean, this is 20 years of usage out of this car, you know, going back and forth to Florida and whatnot. Heck, I stick surfboards in my car with the top down and things. But this pillow, there's a pillow back here, as you can see, that I used to place right in that top when it's coming down. And you'll see that in the video coming up right next here in a few minutes, in a few seconds. Some interesting stats to know about the Boxster are, for my Boxster in particular, it's been a great car, very reliable. I didn't have to do anything major to it until about 118,000 miles. I replaced the transmission, and that is no small act of Congress there. That is a major bill to replace the transmission. I have replaced the battery 7 times, and that is probably due to the fact that when putting entertainment system upgrades into the car, like a DVD system, GPS, all that to make it up to date, it drains that battery perpetually, which is why I disconnect the negative terminal and when I'm storing the car, because I don't drive this car every day anymore. I used to, and I've raced this car, driven it daily. I've driven it hard, and it's just a champ. It's been a really good car. And a couple of other things are the ignition switch has been replaced twice. The first time at 106,000 miles and the second time at 123,000 miles. I replaced the entire exhaust system at 100,000 miles. And one interesting thing to note is that rear spoiler right here that comes up automatically right here. Sometimes it'll get stuck. And for those of you who have these Boxsters of the 98, 99, 2000, sometimes they'll stick. They'll get stuck up and you can't get them to come down. Don't freak out and take it to the dealership and let them fix it, because they'll charge you an arm and a leg. It will correct itself. It's going to self-correct. It's happened to me several times, but it always corrects itself. And usually I just disconnect the battery, let it sit for a minute or two, and then reattach the battery, and then crank the sucker up and play around with the toggle switch to move move the fin up and down, and it just fixes itself on its own without doing anything. So don't panic about that if you have that issue. I have also replaced the coolant cap 3 times, and bear in mind that I've had this car 20 years, so the coolant reservoir cap is back here, the blue cap, and basically over time that O-ring or the gasket there, that seal comes loose, and if you ever have any coolant leaks or anything, you know, obviously get that fixed. But this blue cap has been replaced 3 times, and but still overall working great. Another thing to note is when I replace the ignition switch, I had trouble finding the actual part for this car in particular, so I just simply used an Audi ignition switch. It's the same part. As many of you know that are into Porsches, VW, Porsche, and Audi are, you know, you can switch the parts around. A lot of them are the same parts. When I go to junkyards or pull apart, I often steal parts off of Audis and VWs that are compatible with my Porsches because they're so much cheaper, and it's the same part. So why pay so much when you can get it at a pull apart or a junkyard if it's in great condition? One noteworthy thing that I would draw to your attention is that when the transmission does start to flake out, sorry, I'm trying to focus here about this camera. When the transmission does start to flake out, you will notice a marked difference with the when you put it into drive. It will hesitate, as do transmissions when they begin to slip. So I started putting it in the Tiptronic manual mode and using the plus or minus in the tip to progress the gear into the next gear, because it just wouldn't catch up, and it was just lagging behind. So that worked for a good 2 or 3 months, just driving it in manual Tiptronic mode and using the plus or minus to change gears. And that kind of did it in. And after that happened, that's when the transmission just kind of flaked out and was replaced. So all in all, I would say that this is an awesome car. I have really enjoyed it. I don't plan on selling it. It's a sentimental favorite of mine. And I've won many trophies with it, both on and off the track. And it's just really good for great fun, and it's easy to handle. It's not that high maintenance when you take the cost in over 20 years. It's a square deal. So totally recommend it. In Porsche Cars North America, I think it was in 2013, I believe, they settled a lawsuit about the IMS bearing. I know you've all heard of that. So actually the 98 and 99 and the 2000 Boxster series was left out of that class action lawsuit because there were so few of them affected with that IMS failure. So that is a noteworthy thing to know about the Boxster. Don't be too afraid of them in those early years, because they weren't even included in the class action lawsuit because there were so few of those actionable. Thank you everyone for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. Please like the video, comment, ask any questions. I love to answer questions. Let me know if you like the video, and please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Well, we're here to discuss this car, the Boxster. It's a 1999 Porsche Boxster. I've owned it for 20 years, and I'm going to tell you the good things and the bad things. And let me show you this folder. Oops.